Hi, my name's Gabe Arnold. That's me right there. Okay, that's cartoon me. I've got good news. Today I'm going to teach you how to take action. Welcome to the Take Action Tips Show. You can visit businessmarketingengine.com for more tips. Now let's take action and get started. All right, we are live, and it's a little bit different today because I'm not driving, which is probably good. And Rachel's here with us today.
Hello.
And the beginning of the show is dedicated to you, Allison, because I know you are nervous when I'm driving and recording these, but I promise you that I always use my hands free and I'm super safe. So today we're going to talk about some really important things for life, for being an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about worst case scenarios, and I'm going to share some with you, and a couple of folks that I tagged here. Andrew, who just joined. What's up, Andrew? If you want to say hello and share this, that'd be great. And Reno, maybe he's around, who knows, he might be busy, but I've got a little story about Reno and Jeremiah. And so we're going to start talking about worst case scenarios and what you should really be doing with them and how you should think about them in just a second here. So if we get a couple other people on, somebody else just joined, why don't you say hello and let me know where you're dialing in from, where you're at today. What's up, Andrew? And we'll get started here in just a minute. And this is like the third or fourth episode of the Take Action Tips Show, which has been really fun to do so far, and I think is definitely the coolest part of Facebook's latest updates. So we'll just give everybody just a couple more seconds. Hey, what's up, Taylor? It's Friday. I'm super excited about that, and leaving for vacation tomorrow. We're going to be on a big cruise ship and enjoying the sun, and Rachel loves the sun.
So excited.
And so we're super excited about that. If you guys are just getting on, if you want to say hello and if you want to share this, that would be fantastic. And I'm glad Andrew likes the show so far. If my own family likes what I'm doing, that's always a good thing. So let's see if we can get a couple more folks on here, and then we will get started. And I'm going to share with you worst case scenarios and what you should, how you should really be, honest and objective about those things. So, and if you're just joining, this is the Take Action Tips Show. And I would love it if you just let me know, say hi down below, give a comment, and then share it, and we'll get started. I do these at this time because they're convenient for me, which is probably selfish, but I normally do them at this time because I'm usually on my way to go pick up my son. And when I'm in the car, I think, and I have lots of ideas, which is probably inconvenient because I can't act on all of them, but this is one of them that I can act on. Jessica, what's up? Welcome to the show. First time viewer, I think. I haven't seen you on before, and I don't think I have seen you in real life in like 10 years, 15 years, so awesome to have you on. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is your take action tip for the day is going to be worst case scenarios, and I'm going to start by telling you two different stories. The first story I'm going to tell you about is a really interesting business to me, and maybe this wasn't as hard as I think it would be, but I think it would be hard to do this. So my good friend Reno, who I tagged up there, he, a couple years ago, started a business selling cockroaches. Now, if that is not the craziest thing you've ever heard of, then I don't know what is. And someday I will go over to his shop and I will show you these giant Tupperware bins of cockroaches, because it's just crazy. And as a guy, I think it's amazing. But Tanya said if I ever make her go visit there, she will quit. And so, as a girl, I'm sure it's probably really gross. So, Reno and his brother Tony apparently woke up one day. Sorry, little glitch there. Reno and Tony woke up and said, "Hey, let's sell cockroaches to pet owners." And I think that's a really crazy thing to do. But if you have a strange idea like that, or if you have something that you think might work, you've got two options. You can be really afraid of trying it, which is normal. We're all afraid of trying it. Or you can say, okay, well, let's give it a shot, and what's the worst thing that can happen? So if it was me and I was Reno and I was thinking about this idea, I would say, what's the worst that can happen? I can end up with a huge shop full of cockroaches that I have to feed to my iguana for the rest of his life, and nobody buys them. And that's probably not the end of the world. Like, if you really boil it down and think like, oh, this could totally fail. If nobody wants to buy these, if I don't know how to price them, if I don't know the right partners to work with to get a website running, if I don't know how to hire people, the worst case scenario in his situation is he would have zillions of them and he could drop them off at a pet store somewhere for free. And he would have wasted some time and money, but his life would not be over. And, I think that's something that you have to think about is your life going to be over if you fail at your idea? And usually the answer is no. And the other, scenario that I want to share today is with my brother Andrew, who was with us. A few months ago, he came to me, or maybe like 6 or 8 months ago now, a while ago, and he's like, I want to start a business and I want to offer, fitness coaching classes, and I want to be able to ultimately do it all online. And so when he came to me with that, what's up, Emma? Thanks, glad you could join here. I said, yeah, I would love to help you. And, if we look at, I said, we don't know how this will work or if you can do it, or even though you've been in gymnastics for so many years and you know so much about health and fitness, we don't know how people are going to react to this. But what would be the worst case scenario that would happen? I could invest a bunch of time with him, help him build his website, help him come up with classes, come up with this plan. And the worst case scenario is that he still, gets to work an amazing job at Emeth Gymnastics and his idea wasn't any good. And that would be his worst case scenario. I don't think anybody in the family would disown him if it didn't work. I don't, think that he's gonna, be in the position where it's just a horrible failure, because it won't be. The real worst case scenario of him trying his idea is that it doesn't work and he can go back to doing what he's already done. And if we look at that like in business situations, that makes sense. And there's one other story I'll tell at the end about a business situation to make sure that you're successful and you safeguard yourself and you limit your worst case scenario. But in asking for something that you want, which can be in sales or in a relationship or something like that, I want to kind of share another story. I always think of this when I'm talking to a customer, and it applies to some personal things too, which I'll share in a minute. And that is, when I'm on the phone or when I'm meeting with somebody and I'm trying to help them improve their business and really grow, then obviously I'm going to offer them services and make sure that they can, really take advantage of all the marketing solutions that we have at businessmarketingengine.com. And so when I get done presenting and saying like, here's all the different options you have and here's what you can do, I ask for the sale. And I always remind myself when I'm in sales mode and I'm presenting, I always say, what's the worst that can happen? If I look at this interaction right now, it's worth $0 because they haven't purchased anything yet. And then if I look at this, if I say, okay, so I may be scared to ask for the sale. I may be scared because I don't know if my pricing works. I may be scared for a lot of different reasons, but I look at that situation and say, okay, right now I have $0 in this deal. So what's the absolute worst thing that can happen? I will have $0. If I ask and they say no, then, what's the worst thing that can happen? And that's really the worst thing. The other thing is I could look stupid or be silly or, make a mistake. And I do that all the time. And it's, it's okay to be, silly. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not be very good at things in the beginning. And that really isn't a horrible, situation. I was reading a book a couple months ago, and the guy's like, he had hired a new assistant and she screwed something up and she thought it was the end of the world. And he said, did anybody die? And, in our day-to-day, like business and normal life situations, nobody died. Nothing really bad happened. That's awful. That's a horrible thing that actually happens. But in reality, when we're trying to take action or sell something or grow, we can ask ourselves, what's the real worst case scenario? Am I allowing my fear to be so amplified that I'm just going to talk myself out of doing something? And so in personal relationships and goals and interactions and with our family and things that are really important, there's big questions that you need to ask. You need to confront somebody about something that really bothers you, or you want to ask somebody out. Obviously, that's the big one that everybody's afraid of. or you want to work with a mentor or somebody that you think is really successful and can help you grow. What's the worst case that can happen when you ask that question? You can be right where you are today without the connection, without confronting the problem. And so be really objective about what you're afraid of or what the worst case scenario is. And last but not least, when it comes to business and sales and offering something new, I come up with new ideas a lot of the time, and I offer them to my customers, and sometimes they're horrible ideas and they don't do them, and sometimes they're a great idea. One of the best things that you can do to give yourself a lot of confidence in the beginning and give your customer a lot of confidence is say, okay, we are launching this new product or this new service or this new class, or I am launching my coaching service or consulting business, and I want to invite you to test it out with me. And if you're willing to do that, it's $100 a month or $500 or $50 or whatever it is. If you're willing to do that with me, the person you're talking to, then I want to let you know that I guarantee that you are either going to be happy with it or you can have your money back. And I tell my customers that because I want them to know that I want them to be completely satisfied with our service, and I don't want there to be any risk on their side. And it also lets me off the hook, when I'm trying something brand new, because then, I don't have to worry about, being afraid or worrying if it's going to be successful. All I have to do is say, I'm going to do my absolute best to deliver some amazing value to you. And if you're not completely satisfied, or if something doesn't work out, I'm just going to give you your money back. And that's the position that you can approach when you're selling something new, or when you're just not confident of how it's going to work. Put yourself in a position to be successful, but also give your customer zero risk. So when it comes to taking action on things, as you guys know that I always talk about, you got to jump out there and do it right away. So right now you may have something that you want to sell to somebody. You might have a partnership that you've been thinking about, that you want to have with somebody. You might be wanting to ask somebody out new. You might be looking to confront a situation that has been bothering you. But whatever it is, go out and take action on it now, because if you do that, then you have the opportunity for success. And really ask yourself, what is the real worst case scenario that can happen here? In reality, it's probably not that bad. So I'm glad everybody was able to be on today. I appreciate you guys, and I will probably not have a couple or any of these for a couple days until later next week or the following week, because I'm going to be on vacation in the sunshine, which I'm super excited about. But I appreciate you guys tuning in today, and definitely take action on it. If you liked this, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it. If you're watching it now or later, that'd be awesome. And you can always check out all the shows that we have so far at businessmarketingengine.com, and right at the top there's a little link there that says the Take Action Tips show. So talk to you guys all soon. Have a fantastic rest of the day and an awesome weekend. All right, bye.